It is the final that a lot of these fans here wanted. Michael van Gerwen, the world's #1 player, against local favourite Gary Anderson. We've been hearing them chanting behind us in the past few minutes. They are bang up for this, and we will see it live when we come back. After both those shows. Well, we are just about ready for the action. It is mighty Michael van Gerwen against Gary Anderson. It has been Michael van Gerwen versus Peter Wright, another Scotsman, for the previous two finals that we've had here at the Braehead Arena, where the Glaswegian fans have really enjoyed their darts. They absolutely love it here. They provided a wonderful atmosphere for them. And this will be the 4th World Series final. Who is going to win? Michael van Gerwen tends to win these things, doesn't he? We know all about his record, and he is getting ready to come out now, and the boos have started. The boos have started to talk us through the first part of the final. It is John Rawling.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. 24 came and only 2 remain, and now, ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, the Professional Darts Corporation proudly present the grand final of the Ladbrokes World Series of Darts Final. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we welcome our viewers joining us on ITV Sport and the millions joining us around the world. We give you a marvellous welcome to an incredible city. Welcome to Glasgow, Scotland! And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the finalists. Would you please welcome firstly from the Netherlands, the current world #1, the reigning and defending 2-time World Series of Darts champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning 2-time champion of the world, mighty Michael van Gerwen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to welcome home your #1 son. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5-time winner of the World Series event, the 2-time Premier League champion, and the former 2-time back-to-back champion of the world, the pride of Scotland, the flying Scotsman, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Anderson!
Arena is absolutely rocking. This should make for some fabulous entertainment, and looking forward to it in the commentary box. Alan Warren a little, and Stuart Pike.
Yes, fantastic atmosphere, Jackie, and let's just be honest, hey, it is the final that we all really wanted and hoped for. #1 seed Anderson, #2 seed van Gerwen, and let's hope it's an absolute thriller. The first World Series final in Dubai was, Anderson won it. Who wins it tonight, Alan?
Well, yeah, two of the most popular players on the planet and probably two of the best players in the world. They really are two of the top table on the hockey. Very popular, Gary Anderson. You can hear the crowd. Look at that view. Everybody on their feet, singing his name. Michael van Gerwen has been through this before. Gary, for me, just has to up his game a little bit from his last match.
Well, we really are
him.
dining from darts top table. The final of the World Series 2017, Van Gerwen and Anderson, and Van Gerwen setting his stall out with a 140 to start. But yet Anderson's performance will be key. He has the game to beat Michael van Gerwen. That is absolutely for sure. And of all the players in the world, the one that Van Gerwen fears the most is the man that he's playing here tonight.
Absolutely correct, Stuart. And they both like playing each other because there's never any other drama. They just get up there on the hockey and try and batter each other. And that's what a lot of people like to see. Let's hope it turns out like that. Two quality players.
Well, of course, the Partizan home crowd will be cheering and shouting every success that Gary Anderson has in this final. I wonder what reaction Michael van Gerwen will get to the boos and maybe a bit of barracking later on. We remember in the World Match Play in the summer against Phil Taylor, the crowd reaction stunned him and he was clearly affected. What about that from Anderson? To lead 32.
Well, that got a huge, huge roar from the auditorium. Double 16 to tidy it up.
Well, how awkward is that? Wow. How big a moment is this already in the final? Double 12, and that's a stunner. Anderson will be livid! Van Gerwen will be delighted. What a leg from Anderson. 3 darts missed at double 16 to break. Yes. Back comes Van Gerwen with a ton plusser.
Yes, well, that's what Van Gerwen can do. He can hurt you. There's a big chance for Anderson. Obviously early days. That really would have got the crowd going. Would have put Gary on the front foot, started this leg with a maximum.
Well, Van Gerwen desperate to silence the crowd, isn't he? Here comes Gary again. Methinks Anderson is in the mood.
We have takeoff in Glasgow.
94.
Well, he missed a 13 darter in the last leg. This for 11 or 12. Wow. It is. It's game on in Glasgow, isn't it?
177.
We've seen that 2 118s and a 174 and a 12 darter from Anderson, a 177 and a 103 finish from Van Gerwen. Breathtaking, breathless and brilliant thus far.
174.
And he's on a 9 darter. Incredible. He's left 150 for a 9 darter in the second leg of the final. 177, 174.
Keeping his concentration though. It's all about winning the leg now.
They're pushing each other to the limit.
Well, if this can carry on, we're in for an absolute cracker.
91, Michael McGrath 54.
12 darter for Van Gerwen to reply.
Oh, going at an amazing pace as well.
57.
I just wonder how much that first leg will matter. Remains to be seen.
134.
3 darts at double 16 for Gary Anderson to get off to a flyer.
Yeah, it stopped him in his tracks, didn't it? Because he had such a good scoring leg.
He was flowing. He was absolutely buzzing on that stage.
98.
Good last one.
Well, that final in Dubai that Anderson won 11-7 back in May, outdoors in searing heat and both averaging 110, was right up there for me. One of the best matches of this year and many a year because of the conditions.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing, Stuart.
Yeah.
I watched that and it was absolutely breathtaking. But that's what I like about these two, they just get on with it. We've had all the drama of the weekend, these two just go toe to toe.
Double 8 for another big leg, another big finish, and another 12 darter. Well, astonishing. 103 average Anderson, 105 Van Gerwen. So far, 103 from Van Gerwen to win the opening leg, despite a 174 from Anderson. A 12 darter, including back-to-back maximums for Anderson. A 12 darter for Van Gerwen, and a 130 out, and another 12 darter from Van Gerwen to break.
Well, if anybody had any doubts, if Michael Van Gerwen wasn't back to his best, watch this. He is motoring. Gary's going to have to stick with him. We know he can. We know he has.
Fabulous, isn't it?
16.
Van Gerwen winning 3 big TV finals against Anderson in the last 12 months. The Grand Prix, the Masters, and of course
59.
the World Championship. But Anderson just off the boil a little as far as the scoring is concerned, and that will be a concern. But
70.
Even in Denmark, we've got a European tour in 2018 in Denmark, spreading the word around the world.
well, if a certain brew did darts, this would be it.
Probably.
Well, this would raise the roof. I'm lucky with the last one, but Van Gerwen here for a 4-1 lead. 17 and tops. And Van Gerwen at the moment in control of this final. 4 out of 5 as far as the finishing is concerned. Anderson missed 3 darts to go 1 up. At the moment, Van Gerwen cashing in. He leaves a thrilling final, 4-1. The hometown hero, Gary Anderson, with it all to do.
Wow, these two have not messed about. Just 7 minutes for 5 legs of darts. I barely had time to put my coat on and take it off again.
Yeah, that was an explosive start and some real key moments early on already. Talking points, missed opportunities.
That's incredible. Well, it always is a case of missed opportunities, isn't it, against Michael Van Gerwen. In the very first leg, Gary had a chance to break, and then MVG did what he does.
Yeah, took a fabulous 103 out. I mean, this was... I know it's just the first leg, but it just sets the game, the pattern of the game. And I mean, they're so well thrown darts. It's just unlucky that, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And then, as you said, Michael just steps in and does what Michael does, knocks out a 103 like it's in the practice room.
He probably celebrates like that in the practice room in front of the other players as well, doesn't he? Finding a camera to the side and going like that. And then for 3-1 as well, another fabulous checkout.
Yeah, great 130. I mean, now it's because it's sort of set in stone almost the way the match is going to go. I mean, way back, nice and relaxed, all clean in the middle, and then no more so than in the last leg, as we've just seen, that 82 finish. I mean, that's such a game changer. 4-1, 3-2. 4-1, not quite game over, but it's got Gary on the back foot, where Michael's got a bit of a cushion and can start relaxing, and then he'll really start to flow. I mean, he's only averaging just under 100 at the moment, which for him is, you know, well within himself.
Yeah, here are the match stats so far. 4-1 up. Michael is at the break. Similar averages, only just under 100, but just 1 out of 5 on the checkout so far for Gary.
Yeah, and there lies the problem. those opportunities missed, and the reverse with Michael. Every time he's been given a sniff, he's taken it. And that 130 was fantastic, but there was no real pressure. But the 103 and the 82 in the last leg of that mini session was massive. But yes, it's a tough ask for Gary now, because he's going to have to really try and force the situation rather than play. You know, he likes to play relaxed. Not going to be able to do that now.
Yeah, we can barely hear ourselves think here. The players are back out on stage.
It's lively.
And the fans are booing and cheering in their numbers. Back to Stuart.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. 4-1. Gary Anderson, the difference, a millimetre. The difference between a 2-0 lead and now 4-1 down. And that 103 finish, more than anything, it got Michael van Gerwen into the final after he'd been outplayed for 3/4 of that opening leg. And I mean, Chris was spot on. It set the tone, didn't it?
Well, it was an electric start from both players. The crowd responded. The noise levels were absolutely incredible. And just that one moment there from Gary. 4-1 is obviously a difficult task against anybody. Against Michael van Gerwen, even harder. We know he's capable.
The absolute must is that Anderson has to win this little mini session 3-2 at the very least.
177.
Van Gerwen fires on. That's 2 177s from the world #1.
Yeah, also had a 174. Hasn't yet hit a maximum, incredibly.
Yep. Treble 19 coming to the rescue for Anderson here.
135.
This is a must-win leg.
Just
for the
underneath.
Scot.
Yeah, just underneath as well. Just stopped the flow there. Trying to find a treble, and he got one with the last one. 138. Not an easy finish.
99. Daniel Carr, 138.
Simon Scotland rings out around the arena.
I thought he might have stayed on the treble 20 there.
The
Good
lie,
line.
I agree with you. It was a lovely lie. And went for double-double, so a chance here for
66.
Gary Anderson that he can't afford to miss. Double 10. He was getting angry, wasn't he? Anderson plays well when he gets angry.
Yes, we like an angry Gary on the board.
140.
Trying to get himself going, G himself up. That's a good marker.
140.
Quality. Absolute quality.
Well, we almost expect it all the time, Stuart. But when it does actually happen, you just feel in the moment. The crowd are loving it, singing away, and Gary's responding pretty well.
140.
This is when it's that good, when they're
57.
feeding off each other, aren't they? As you say, no shenanigans, no messing, great pace, great darts, and this is what we get. This is the result.
They've got great respect for each other, and they both know what each other can do.
Yeah.
134.
Yeah, to leave double 18, Gary needing 139. Well, all he can do now is hope that van Gerwen misses. 4 out of 5 on the doubles so far. Make that 5 out of 6 on the doubles. When van Gerwen's in this mood, finishing, it's going to be very, very difficult to take it away from him. Of course, van Gerwen looking for a hat-trick of World Series titles.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous game, isn't it, when you're hoping your opponent's going to miss.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen that often.
Anderson,
at this top level.
has actually won the last 3 World Series matches between the pair,
56.
as well as Dubai, winning in Shanghai and Japan, rather. So he has a terrific record in this competition.
Yeah, he said he really enjoys the World Series.
Yeah.
Got a little bit travelling as well, see the sights. And some of these wonderful places that we visit.
138.
And Van Gerwen leaving himself pretty handy. This is on Gary Anderson's throw.
Yeah. With
Good reply.
The treble 19 at the moment is keeping Gary in this because... But look at this.
86.
So a chance for Anderson.
117.
Gotta go. Treble 19. Well, when he really needed the treble 19, he's been hitting all night.
42.
Again, relying on a Van Gerwen miss. And he isn't missing a lot. It's 6-2 to Michael Van Gerwen. 2 breaks of throw. And Gary Anderson with it all to do in the World Series final.
And you've got a player scoring heavy like that, averaging just shy of 105 and hitting 6 out of 8 doubles. It's very, very difficult to get back in the match. He's going to have to provide one of those beautiful purple patches that he's very, very capable of.
16.
Doesn't want Van Gerwen to run away with this and get too far ahead. The gap is already 4.
44.
What Van Gerwen has managed to do as well is to silence the crowd. And that's key. And there's the first maximum. The crowd reduced to a whisper.
133.
Yes, he's just getting on with it, isn't he? He's doing
42.
what he can do.
Well, fantastic. Fantastic from Anderson. Scrapping away.
Double 16 would have left double 8, double 9. Well, that left the ball.
Going to play 94.
Tops. Brilliant. Stay in it. The 171 followed by a 94 2-dart kill. 5 magical darts from Gary Anderson.
He needed it as well, didn't he? He really did. Just trying to get some more momentum.
139.
Started on 19 there, first 3 darts, but did get the 2 treble 20s. But back comes MVG. Number 2.
This is just fantastic, isn't it?
114.
We said about Anderson needing to win this session 3-2. If he can get within 2 here.
114.
But Michael Van Gerwen making it so difficult.
Great second dart. Can he follow it? Well, 1-2-2 is very doable, as we know. Michael Van Gerwen will no doubt be on something better.
130. Gary McCall, 122.
And another. To lead double 7. Well, I wonder if in these moments this could be the match. We shall see. 1 dart missed. Van Gerwen here. Huge dart! What an opportunity then for the Scot. The crowd back in it. Double 2 for Anderson. 6-4 it is. And we have a final, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Anderson back in this. Both averaging over 100. Don't go anywhere. But the world number 1, Michael Van Gerwen, and the number 1 seed, Gary Anderson, here at the World Series, are serving up a real tungsten treat.
It's Michael Van Gerwen and Gary Anderson in this year's World Series final. Gary, the local favourite, trailing Michael by 6 legs to 4. And we've got a change in the commentary box now to see us through to the end by John Rawling and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, the key leg there, which keeps the Gary Anderson hopes alive. It was 6-2, wasn't it? And then that brilliant 171 followed by the 94 checkout. Then the big miss on double from Michael van Gerwen. Crowd just getting on his back a little bit. Gary takes out the double 2, and suddenly from really the possibility, the momentum suggesting it could have gone to 8-2, suddenly we go to the break, not 8-2, but 6-4, game on.
Yeah, well, potentially it would have been 7-3 and you still would have thought that was game over, but game on.
98.
Hold on to his coattails and try and find a break, a throw, or a mistake from the green machine. An enthralling final so far.
Well, Van Gerwen, as ever, scoring brilliantly. He's averaging over 105. You kind of anticipate that, but the times when he looks fallible, he, like anybody, is human. He has his down spells.
Just
and
about.
It's just about, but then it's a question of whether you can hit him when that's there. But this certainly is no down spell now. Anderson's flowing as well. Back-to-back 180s. Brilliant stuff. Double 16.
12 darter.
There it is. 7-4. Stay with us. The race to 11.
56.
Van Gerwen has come back from that break, really firing, Chris.
Well, he's fired up. He'd have been fuming about the missed opportunity.
114.
Those numbers.
Maximum number 4 for Van Gerwen. His average closing in on 109 now.
These two so popular on the exhibition circuit when they do their long format head-to-head matches.
No nonsense, just brilliant darts.
Yep.
59.
Anderson's throw under big pressure. Do with the ball. Leaves him a straight ton.
So 122 for 8-4 for a break of throw.
418's ball.
It's
Yep.
on.
89.
Got to go this one, Gary. Tops.
He's got it. One more. Just the wrong side of the wire. Double 16.
Game shown the 12 leg.
8-4. The gap is up to 4 legs again. Van Gerwen taking back-to-back legs from 6-4 to 8-4. Just 3 more needed.
Moment there when he had to go at tops.
93.
Really missed by a whisker.
Yeah. Really flowing now.
114.
Looks $1 million.
Quality of this match is wonderful.
85.
Scottish crowd, of course, hugely committed for Gary Anderson, but Van Gerwen, as ever, sublime competitive darts.
Well, they're actually appreciating the quality of this match, as are we. It's pretty to watch.
Just a glimmer here for Gary Anderson. Can he break back? Could have done that in the treble 19.
Needs a treble.
98.
He's 167.
How much of an indentation on the remaining is Van Gerwen going to make?
100.
That's okay.
Carried a far 167.
He doesn't get this. He needs to leave a reasonably simple
83.
checkout.
Michael Power 144.
Can't do it.
Anderson coming back with 84.
Got to go. Has to go in.
94. Carried a far 84.
He knows it. Treble 14. He's got it for double 11. Again, he, just by a whisker, he thought he was in.
So close.
Double 16. There he goes, 9-4.
Michael Van Gerwen. 14 leg is carried in third.
Anderson had chances in the last 2 legs and missing by the width of a wire. And the crowd
59.
a little bit subdued as Van Gerwen accelerates away.
Would have been so different. Scoreline.
100.
It's all about missed opportunities at the moment.
What a brilliant, brilliant time to get a maximum for Van Gerwen, his 5th.
137.
He is absolutely in the zone. Cover shots just missing the treble 19, but look at those scores. Van Gerwen closing in.
In control of another leg that Anderson started first.
84.
In again, and again. Blistering.
Superb. 9 darts to 52 and 11 darter beckons at this stage of the match. Break of throw, looks as though it's coming. Double 16, 10-4. One more needed. An 11 dart leg from Michael Van Gerwen. Wow.
Absolutely incredible standard. Into the 15th leg, and into the 15th leg, and his average is climbing up to 106.38.
57. 92.
Tournament average for Michael Van Gerwen, 102.32.
60.
Serious elite level darts.
Unlucky.
Rains it pours, mate.
117.
Well, chance of a break of throw at this stage.
100. 140.
60 left after 12.
And a little break in the action if Anderson wins this leg.
64.
If he doesn't, of course, we have the presentation ceremony. Tops. There you go. He's hanging in there. Thought it would be an extraordinary turnaround if he were to win. Nevertheless, though, as the players leave the stage just for a moment or two, it's Michael Van Gerwen who leads 10-5, but Anderson taking that leg and just about still hanging in.
It doesn't feel like there's that vibe in the air here in Glasgow, much as they would love it. Those are the stats. Michael averaging 104, 101 for Gary, but it's the checkout difference once again that's key.
Yeah, Michael just hasn't given an extra opportunity. You know, the biggest one was that first leg when he had 3 darts at the double, because the momentum was with Gary, the crowd was on his side, it was very loud. He won the next leg in 12, so it could have been 2-0 ahead, but that wasn't to be. He did well to hang in there. Obviously, he's got a tough task now. You know, Michael's 1 leg away, so 5 leg difference against the world number 1, and a guy who's averaging 104, 105 is very difficult.
Yeah, Michael Van Gerwen now just 1 leg away from his 38th TV title. Let's see if he can do it. Back to commentary.
We will see. Gary Anderson will have the darts, though, when the action resumes. Surely Van Gerwen's going to win from here, isn't he?
Well, be the unlikeliest of victories. He needs to win every remaining leg.
Yeah, he's got to produce some absolutely sublime darts, Gary Anderson. Been a bit, as he said, a little bit rusty, but he's raised his game a little in this final, and he's given Van Gerwen. The score doesn't really quite reflect how good a scrap it's been.
Well, he's playing above his tournament average, which you can ask no more.
Well, he had a couple of, Anderson had a couple of big legs, didn't he, where he just missed out. There was the double-double, and he was just talking just the width of a wire, and had those gone in.
And he moved the double 11 wire off that 84.
Yep. Van Gerwen, though, now this is why he's world number 1. It's consistency, and he's performing in the comfort zone at 103, 104, 105.
That's standard for him.
94.
do it all day.
Yeah.
And has done.
And will continue to do that.
57.
Well, Gary's on 119. Makeable.
99.
Not a serious amount of pressure. He should be thrown with a lot of freedom. He will know the task in hand and should now just be relaxing.
Double 13.
Another one, width of the wire.
This would be spectacular, wouldn't it?
What a way to win it.
No, it's just outside.
You heard the clip was audible.
5 double 4. Double 4 to keep it alive. Yes!
Magic last start.
10-6. Made it look easy. It certainly wasn't, was
No,
it,
it
Chris?
wasn't. Heart would have been in his mouth, especially how many doubles he's clipped so far in this match. Begin to think, are they ever going to go in?
6 out of 17, Gary Anderson, comparing with Van Gerwen's 10 out of 17.
Yeah.
59% against 35%.
Huge difference. Especially at this level when you're only getting those little 1 and 2 dart opportunities under pressure.
96.
He's nicked the throw of Michael so far in this leg. All but a 140.
140.
Should come down 19s. Love to fill it.
That is... Oh, thought it was
Another deflection.
still tremendous,
Yeah.
tremendous throwing. 132 makeable.
Ball, double 16 here, John.
See if he can do it.
107 left. Oh. So 87 for the match, and an 11-6 victory.
Is it a here endeth the match? Double 18. It does, and Van Gerwen has won once more. Brave effort from Gary Anderson, but Michael Van Gerwen once again is the champion. His spectacular winning run in this competition continues, and he has won it for a 3rd consecutive year.
Yeah, ultimately just too strong. The opportunities that Gary was given, he just couldn't grasp, and clipped wires, just wasn't his night. But considering the preparation he's not had for these events, that was a fabulous performance. Finished with 100 average. Michael 103.3, 5 180s. Just too strong on the night.
Never cease to marvel at the wonderful, eye-catching style of Michael Van Gerwen. Anderson threw everything at him, with not the best of preparation, as we've said all along. And it was, look at the camaraderie between them. That is what I like to see in darts.
Yeah, well, they've played many times. They've shared that stage on many occasions and had some great battles. And this was another one of them, John. They're great sportsmen and they're great ambassadors for our great game.
So, it is time to celebrate the brilliance of Michael Van Gerwen once again. Our Master of Ceremonies up on the stage, John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. An incredible final as always. And now, time for our presentation. Would you please welcome, on behalf of our title sponsors, Ladbrokes, the sponsorship manager, Joe Burton, and the head of sponsorship, Mr. Adrian Osman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know you'd love to show your appreciation to our runner-up, receiving £25,000 and the trophy, and that goes to the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for is to crown our winner. Receiving £50,000, the magnificent trophy. And ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd time, we crown him the Ladbrokes World Series of Darts Finals champion. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd consecutive year, it's MVG Mighty Michael.
Michael, congratulations. Winner once more, 103 average in the final, but Gary made you work hard for it.
Yeah, of course. Gary always makes you work hard. You know what you have to do against Gary, and that's play top performance. I think I got away the first leg with a nice 103 finish, I think, when he missed 3 darts, and that gave me confidence straight from the beginning. And after that, my finishing and my scoring power was there in the right moments, and yeah, I'm willing that I win this trophy again. Yeah.
In every single game you've played over the course of this tournament, there's been one session where your opponent just hasn't been able to live with you, where you've just moved through the gears and taken the game away from you. Does it feel like that's always coming? It's always around the corner?
Yeah, of course, you always need to believe that's around the corner, because if you don't believe it won't happen. Simple as that. And you always have to believe in yourself, otherwise you can't win tournaments like this. Because I play guys like Gary Anderson, Phil Taylor, Raymond Van Barnett, all the big boys, and you have to perform well. You can't afford any mistakes, and I'm really glad I have the extra gear when I have to, and yeah, that made me win today.
Having missed a few World Series events this year, becoming a dad, how satisfying is it to turn up to the finals and claim this for a 3rd consecutive year?
Yeah, that feels amazing. Of course, every tournament is special, and you always want to win. And of course, I know that we're all on Gary's back. I know that, but that will be exactly the same in Holland. But still, it's a fantastic crowd, and thank you all. Thank you.
Gary, I'll bring you in. Come on, Gary. Gary, commiserations. It's a fantastic final to watch, but it's probably just a bit of rustiness and not taking out a few doubles at crucial times, isn't it?
The boy's good, isn't he? I reckon about 10 years' time, this boy will actually become something in the dart world. But next decade, he'll be really good. But no, listen, to come back, play Michael in the final, you know, I love playing Michael. You know, he chucks the darts, gets on with the game. Be battered tonight. Looking forward to next time.
Well, look, it's been a successful World Series campaign again for you, winning in Dubai, and of course coming here and actually winning a game, making the final. You two, when you go at it, it's something special, isn't it?
It is, but I'm actually struggling now to keep up with him. I used to play at his pace, but see now, really toiling. But no, the World Series, we go all over the world and we end up back in Scotland. What more can you ask for?
Well, Glasgow, your runner-up, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson. Michael, just one more quick word. You dominated at the European Championship, you came through and won that for a 4th time. You've won this for a 3rd time in a row. This is ideal preparation for the big tournaments we've got coming up leading up to the World Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Around this period, you want to perform close to your best because you have to peak in the Worlds, of course. But that doesn't take away, I want to win every tournament. I always try 200%. If I'm in Dubai, Scotland, China, or Australia, or in London, Ali Pally, yeah, I always want to perform, man. That's something you always need to be hungry, otherwise you can't win.
The hunger's not gone. Glasgow, your World Series of Darts Finals champion for a 3rd consecutive year, mighty Michael van Gerwen.
Oh, they've been booing him all weekend, and now suddenly he's won them over. That's all he had to do was pick up a Scotland flag. I'll be singing Flower of Scotland on the stage now. All friends in the end, but he is one superstar performer, an outstanding player, just 28.5 years of age, by the way. We talk about Rob Cross being promising at the age of 27, having just broken through. This man has 38 TV titles to his name, and you would think the best is still to come. Alan Warren a little and Chris Mason up here reflecting on yet another win for MVG even.
We're all getting excited. Yeah, I mean, his relentless pursuit of titles continues, and it just doesn't look like it's going to stop. It just doesn't give players a chance. If you're not playing at 100%, you're going to find it very, very difficult to have a chance.
And wasn't it, don't you think, in the first leg that he probably got that glimpse that he thought, do you know what, I think I'm going to win this because I had a chance?
Yeah, he touched on that in the interview there with Dan, and he said, you know, he felt like he was going to miss doubles, and he knew he was going to pounce on them, and that's exactly what he did from the onset with that 103 finish. But yeah, Alan's right, he's just a he's just a winning machine. He's just so greedy. This was the point, wasn't it?
Well, he left it after 12 darts, and he had the crowd momentum behind him. He just needed to take this one and move on to the next one, and the crowd would have got louder and louder. He would have responded as well, because the next leg he had a 12-darter as well. He could have been 2-0 ahead. We know, you know, the winning margin 11-6 is 5 legs, but these early legs can make such a difference to what happens at the end.
And the mentality of your opponent. You know how it makes him feel when your opponent misses against you. It gives you a boost. And then we've seen throughout the match there was little moments on that double 11, the tops attempt that just clipped the wire. He clipped the wire of double 13. It just, when it's not, if it's not your night and you're playing MVG, it's going to be a tough game.
We talked previously before the game about the fact that Gary hasn't practiced as much recently. He's only just trying to get rid of that rustiness. Do you think that he won't mind so much losing the final tonight, bearing in mind he's gone out the previous 2 events in the first round?
Well, it's been a better performance. You know, obviously the first 2 rounds, the last 2 years, he's dug in really more than played his best in the previous rounds, and he was digging in there. He knows himself, he's not playing at 100%. We mentioned it before, didn't we, on the balcony break? And, you know, there's a lot of big tournaments coming up, so in his mind he'll think, well, OK, that was a decent start, now I've got to move on and get my game back to what it should be.
He's an elite level performer, and that's a perfect example. He's nowhere near his A game, but still ends with a tournament average of 98, and he's far from prepared for this event. And that's what we talk when we say everybody else's B game is sort of, you know, around the 90 mark, and you're never going to compete with a prime MVG unless you're an elite opponent and you play your A game.
But how much of that is down to pure ability, and how much of it is down to what's in the mind?
It's got to be a bit of both. I mean, this is such a big mental game, darts, because it's probably like most sports really, but this is paramount in this game, because you have to have that, because it's the one-on-one, because there's nothing you can do about your opponent scoring. Not many sports have that. So you've got to do what you can do to try and top what he's doing. And
it's not only the mental strength that he has in his mind, it's the power that he seems to exert over his opponents, and he seems to suck the energy and confidence out of them somehow.
Taylor-esque. That's exactly what Taylor would do. He would dominate you and break you, and you would literally wilt under the pressure. And then, and even if you played a prime Taylor and he wasn't quite at his best, that almost was harder, because you knew you were being given opportunities. And he basically is like a, you know, I never thought we'd have another Phil Taylor. You know, I never thought we'd have another Eric Bristow. But yeah, he's just a machine, absolute machine.
I don't know. There's
at the end of the day, you've got to tip your hat to him, to what he's achieving. You know, last year he was relentless all the way through the season. There's been a couple of hiccups for lots of different reasons this season, but he's still going on winning and winning. The last 2 weekends has been outstanding. And
what's incredible is the field he's playing in. You know, I don't think darts has been played at a higher level than it's being played now. And like Alan has said, you go to the development tour and the challenge tours. Never mind the 128 tour card holders. The standard in that is equally insane. I mean, there's so many good players that on their given day can beat you. That makes it even more remarkable, the amount of titles he has won in the last 3 or 4 years.
And don't forget as well, he's been struggling with bursitis in his ankle recently. He had to pull out of the German Darts Masters, which we showed live, because he was in so much pain. He had inflammation of the fluid sac around the ankle, and he's come back and he's won the last 2 in a row.
That was obviously a good decision, wasn't it? I mean, I think everybody said it at the time as well. You know, there's a lot of big events coming up, and he just needed a little bit of a rest. It's a recurrence of an injury that he's had it before, so he knows what to expect and how the pain and what he needs to do to rest it, and he's done exactly that, and he's come back fitter and stronger.
What about now, the end of the season now, because the end of this calendar year, because there are so many big tournaments coming up with the Players' Championship we've got live in a couple of weeks, something we really always enjoy in Minehead, as do the guests at Butlins there for the 3 days residential package. Oh, it is quite something, I tell you. There are some sights, not just on the stage as well. But how do you think that tournament is looking now?
Yeah, it's good. I like that one. There's 64 players in that one. It's done on 2 stages. We get another chance to see even more players that we wouldn't normally see, which is always great. It's one of those events which it's so close to the World Championships that those that normally perform well at that one go on to have a great World Championships as well. And you know, it's one of my favourites, like the UK Open, because it's the depth in the field.
More and more players are getting the opportunities now on the big stage, so it's up to them to get up to the mark to progress their careers. I mean, that the Players' Championship one we mentioned there, but it's a very difficult tournament because it's, you know, the 64 pulled out from the Players' Championships in the season. Rob Cross, #1 seed as well.
He is as well. I mean, we've been talking about him a lot the last couple of weeks, haven't we? How do you see him progressing now towards the end of the year?
He's just going to get better and better. He's just it's just all a learning curve for him. There's no real pressure on him. You know, he's at the very, very infancy of his career, and he's already showing signs of being a great dart player. And as long as he continues to make tiny little, you know, percentage improvements in his performances week on week, month on month, TV tournament on TV tournament, he's going to be a serious player next year.
And it's around this time of year, of course, that we all start debating about the Premier League places which are up for grabs. How do you think those top 10 are shaping up now?
Well, obviously, the end of the year will provide us with that because there's still a lot more of the equation to be filled. You know, these big teams. The World Championship's the big one. If you do well in that, you're going to put yourself in the frame. Now,
but it's not just in terms of how many matches they win and how good they, because there are the other elements involved as well, with it being an entertainment product.
What, you mean like Corey Cadby and Gerwen Price?
We haven't talked about that tonight, have we?
Well, what happened there? I can't remember that. But,
well, yeah, you've got the Grand Slam, of course, and whoever wins that, who's not already in it, has to be a massive shout. Whoever's not in it and wins the Worlds, if that does happen, which I think is unlikely this year, then they're in it. And then it's whoever else, you know, ticks the boxes in terms of their personality.
I genuinely believe this is going to be the hardest one to pick.
Yeah.
Because you've got your core top players, as we all know, and then you've got a group of a box of about 7 or 8 players in who think they've got a chance.
Corey Cadby.
Unfortunately, we're not there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they know that as well, so that gives a bit of added pressure as well, because when it gets towards the end of the season, they still want that final push and kick to give themselves a chance to get the foot in the door.
Yeah, they know they've got to have a good Worlds. Those ones that are on the fringe, if they don't perform at the Worlds, trust me, Barrier is ruthless, absolutely ruthless. And if he feels that they haven't quite put the effort in or they don't quite deserve it, he'll have no problems of not putting them in or put someone else in.
They've got to deal with big crowds, remember, 10,000 people. You know, they've got to be able to deal with that and perform at the same time.
And maybe get booed. Do you think Corey Cadby one for the future in the Premier League?
Well, he has that kind of personality. It's let's not forget, predominantly Barry's a boxing promoter, so you know he understands about bums on seats. And if he feels that he would pull a crowd in, I mean, it's already a massive sellout anyway. But what the TV wants, maybe that's what they're after. Would it be good for his career? Absolutely not.
But MVG looking ready for a 3rd world title at the end of this year. It's difficult to bet against him, isn't it?
Well, he's always going to be the man to beat. He's always going to be the favourite, and why not?
OK, well, thank you so much for your company. It's been fun yet again. Our next starts is at the end of the month, when we'll be in Minehead for the Players' Championship Finals. That starts on Friday, November 24th at 12:45 to be precise. And for you snooker fans, our coverage of the Champion of Champions begins tomorrow. Join Jill Douglas and the team from 12:45 here on ITV4. MVG is the king of the World Series yet again, with the business end of the darts calendar still to come. It's looking pretty ominous for everyone else. Good night.
The crowd are electrified.
Absolutely incredible.
What about that? Glasgow loves him.
Gary Anderson, the #1 seed, goes through to the final.
That'll do very nicely. Oh, good darts, good darts. That is why he's the world #1. Michael van Gerwen is into the final.
We have take-off in Glasgow.
Michael van Gerwen, once again, is the champion.